Hi there, this is Shantae Javon Taylor, and you are having coffee with a neuroscientist and mindset success catalyst. I help people to bust through their mental blocks so that they can get to their dreams faster, their goals faster, their success faster, because I truly believe that we've been too slow to act on the things that are calling us to show up bigger and better in our lives. So I help people to overcome what's keeping them from their greatness with the brain and the mind. All right. So today we're going to talk about what to think and what not to think. Think this, not that. How gratitude versus negative thinking actually affects your brain and mind. Okay. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your water or drink of choice, and come hang out with me for a few minutes. All right, so let's start with gratitude. All right, we've heard a lot about gratitude. It's like a buzzword now, like pop culture word. Have more gratitude. We have all the big names and the stars talking about gratitude, being thankful for what you have instead of seeking all these materialistic things and things you feel like you want that will satisfy you. That's all great. And I'm going to give you the background. I'm going to give you why it's so important for the brain to have the direction of gratitude. It literally changes your brain. It literally changes your thinking and your emotions, okay? And I want to start with this. And I've said this before, but I'm saying it again. Gratitude is more than saying thank you. It is a constant mental state of appreciation. Okay, so gratitude is more than just saying, oh, thank you for today. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. No, it's a constant way of thinking. It's a constant state of mental appreciation. Because you don't always need to consciously have gratitude. If you train your brain to be in a constant state of gratitude, to be in a constant mental state of appreciation, you will have additive benefits and mental habits and mental thinking and mental maps of gratitude so that you'll have easier control over emotions or those things that might thwart you to start that downward spiral of thinking when you feel like you're not fulfilled or you don't have enough. Okay, so that's what I do as a neuroscientist. I train you to use this better. And I'm going to train you on how gratitude affects your brain. All right, so we have neuroscience studies about how gratitude shapes your brain, shapes your thinking, shapes your emotions. That's why I'm all excited about it. Call me a nerd, but I am bringing you what's going to take you from here to here, remember? All right, so let me just share with you a little bit about your brain because you have one and it's very powerful, so why not learn how to use it? So there's a part of the brain called the cerebellum, and it's normally located right under here. It's called the little brain. My 10-year-old decided I'm going to take apart mommy's model brain, and somehow my cerebellum disappeared. So imagine, people, imagine that there is a little cerebellum here that's kind of shaped like the brain. We call it the little brain, all right? The cerebellum of your brain is responsible for your physical coordination. So you know when people tend to drink and they drink a little bit too much, what's one of the first things to go? The ability to walk a straight line, right? That is the purpose of the cerebellum. We now know this about the cerebellum. It also coordinates your thinking. It also coordinates your thoughts. It also helps you to integrate new information. See, that's the beauty about science. It's now backing up, these ideas of gratitude and meditation and mindfulness, but we're also discovering new things that the brain is doing. It's not that we only use 10%, we use much more than that. We probably only understand 10% of the brain, okay? Because we have 100 billion brain cells, and let's not even talk about all of the supporting cells that help the brain cells. That's another conversation. So when we have negative thoughts, we know that the cerebellum is affected. It's almost like drinking alcohol. Drinking too much alcohol, it uncoordinates your thoughts. It uncoordinates your emotions. It uncoordinates your thinking. Negative, and you wonder why you're, in a spiral downward of negative thinking. Once one negative thought comes and then more and more and more, it's because your cerebellum, remember it's supposed to be right here, is becoming uncoordinated. It's becoming undone. Just like if you were to drink alcohol and you can't walk, you can't coordinate yourself anymore. That's what negative thinking is doing to your brain. All right. It's causing you to lose your emotional control and thinking and the ability to think clearly. There's another part of the brain on the left side, this side, called the temporal lobe. Now, I'm teaching you about your brain, people, because it's your brain. You should know just a wee bit more about the greatest technology on the planet, don't you think? Okay, yeah, we're agreed, right? There is a part of your brain called the temporal lobe. It's normally, when I learned about the temporal lobe, I learned that it's important for language, okay? Perceiving language, understanding language, things of that nature. We now know from modern neuroscience studies that it is also important for your mood, for your memory, and for your temper control. But when we have negative thinking, just like the cerebellum gets uncoordinated, so does the temporal lobe. So what happens with negative thinking? There's a decrease in activity of your temporal lobe, which means a decrease in your mood, a decrease in your memory, and a decrease in your ability to control your temper. Let that one process, people. Let that process. So negative thinking is not serving you. It doesn't serve you. That doesn't serve your brain. It brings down your brain. It brings down crucial activity of your brain. So you would want to do things that will counterbalance negative thought patterns. It's just not in your best interest to thrive. Now, let me tell you what gratitude does. Gratitude is a way to counterbalance that negative thought pattern. Okay, so we now know from neuroscience studies, looking at people's brain who practice gratitude, who journal about gratitude, who practices appreciation meditation, their brains look different from somebody who has a negative thought pattern, somebody who's worried about the future, somebody who's worried about everything going wrong, somebody who is fearful or hateful. People with the brain of gratitude have a different functioning, a different level of activation of their, remember, cerebellum and their temporal lobe. So what does that mean? If you have an increase of activity in that coordination part of the brain, the cerebellum, now you have more control of your thought patterns. You have more control of your emotions. If you have a heightened temporal lobe, because you have gratitude, you have more mood, you have better moods. You have a better memory. You have better control of your temper. Did you know gratitude could do all that? No, I doubt this is being taught almost anywhere. If it is, it's probably in, where I get my information from is from books about neuroscience in the brain and journals and, sources that just everyday people will probably never come across. So, we have other things to think about, right? So my gift and talent is to take that information, make it digestible and applicable to you, your clients, your children, your students. Now you can teach gratitude with more confidence. You can share the strategy of having gratitude with your clients who are negative thinking or negative thinkers, or seem to be stuck in a negative pattern of thinking. Children who they go there sometimes, they think they can't do something and they get into a downward spiral of negative thinking, right? Students. But now you can teach them about how being thankful, having gratitude shapes their brain. It enhances their mood. It enhances their memory. It enhances their ability to control their temper, and overall releases positive emotions, so you can go in the opposite direction of thinking. And once you have an increased level of positive thinking, guess what? You get more insights, you get more creative, your relationships get better, you're more optimistic about life, and you're more prone to see opportunities. And let's not forget, you're more appreciative of what you have. Life, food, shelter, clean water, things we take for granted every day. And all of a sudden, wanting all that extra stuff seems trivial when your basic needs are taken care of. Now, that doesn't mean you don't still try to shoot for the stars, okay? But when shooting for the stars is causing you anxiety, is causing you doubt and fear of not having, that's when you need, here's some tips for you and your clients and your children and your students. Train your brain to have a constant state of mental appreciation. That's what gratitude is. It's not just saying thank you. It's a constant state. Write down 5 or more things every day that you're grateful for. That will train your brain and create wiring mental maps of gratitude in your cerebellum and your temporal lobe to increase the activities of those regions that we now know from neuroscience studies. Gratitude heightens these regions of the brain. All right. Even doctors, we found in neuroscience that doctors who practice gratitude are more likely to correctly diagnose their patients. So let's add that to the benefits of wiring your brain for gratitude. Your accuracy increases. Your level of correctness goes up. Who doesn't want more of that? I tell my children, I'm 99.99% right most of the time, okay? And you probably want a mom who is right most of the time versus being 99.99% wrong. So anyways, writing 5 things, reasons why you have gratitude every day will train your brain for gratitude. Writing stimulates the nervous system, and the more senses that you accumulate in doing something, learning something, the faster mental maps for gratitude or the language or whatever you're trying to learn, the more senses you incorporate, the faster you will learn something or have mental maps for that, okay? Talking about what you're thankful for helps to train the brain, especially if you talk out loud and you counteract that negative thought out loud. That helps to train the brain for gratitude. Appreciation meditation, this is something that I do nightly, is going into that meditative state and just thinking about everything that I'm grateful for by the end of the evening. I do it in the morning also, but it's longer in the evening. Okay, so train your brain using these strategies: appreciation meditation, talking about it, and writing it down. And please, please share this with your clients, share this with your students and your children. Now you know why you should train your brain for gratitude. It's not just about saying thank you. It's a constant state of mental appreciation. Thanks so much for joining. This has been Coffee with the Neuroscientist and Mindset Success Catalyst. And share this. Gratitude is bigger. It's bigger than what you've ever known. It has everything to do with how your brain is shaped. And you heard it from me, Shante Javon Taylor, Coffee with the Neuroscientist and Mindset Success Catalyst. Take care, everyone.